remember last week we were working with tracing these designs. I hope you've uploaded those. If you haven't, you have till the end of this period to do it. So you can work on it today, help each other out. Um, so remember last week we had this element where we were tracing the OK. I'm going to just start with the OK. Now, as you can see, I have my images. If I can see my layers window over here on the right. And here we have trace design. Here we have images, templates, what have you. If I turn the images off, everything turns off. I turn this trace design, it turns off as well. But there's nothing there. But even if it's off like that, you can't draw. See how it's got the little "Hey no, you can't draw" symbol there, or a pencil with a little "Hey no," or a little circle with a line through it. So you got to make sure it's on so you can trace in that layer. And here we are. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start it off here. Now, I hit the button down on my mouse and I held straight. Now, if I hold down the shift key, now it's going to stay at a 90-degree angle to itself. So I let go both, and now I can just kind of pull and draw. See that? Now I'm going to come up to about, see, I'm going to kind of pull and kind of feel it out as to where it's going to go. So I'm going to go right here in this area because that seems to be where it's going to have um, the best arc right in through here. So I grab like that, and now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to shift because I want it to be a 90-degree angle. See how nice and clean that got? Boom, it's right there. I let go. Now you see this right here. That is going to be the area it's going to cover. However, and we're going to just let that keep going. It's a fill, but it's not a line, but that's okay. We can fix that in a bit. So I'm going to come down in here, and I'm going to kind of feel out where it's going to be. It's going to be about the same width as over on this side. So I kind of hold this down and pull. See how it's pulling? I'm not quite straight up and down with this one. So that's not going to quite work. So I'm going to hit Control Z. Now I'm going to come right to about here. And I think that we're going to have a little bit better luck with that. So I'm going to hold that down there. And I'm going to pull up. As you can see, I pulled up. And that one's kind of funky up there. Up on top, that circle's up there. But that's because that line on the top anchor is a little bit longer than the others. So I'm going to just go ahead and hold that and let it go. And I'm just going to let that stay for a moment. We'll come one more time. And again, we want to try to stay as 90 degrees as possible when you're doing with these kinds of circles. So there that is. And now I found that. That's pretty decent. Now I finally finish it off by meeting the other square, that first anchor, and it links everything together. Now it's kind of a little bit weird and oblong, and it's one big block of blue, but I don't want it that. So now I look over here on my tools area, and as you can see, I've got my little arrow that goes back and forth. And what that does is it swaps things out. As you can see, here's a little square here, and here's a small square here. This goes for the fill, and this is for the stroke. If I go like that, now what's happened is the blue is now in the part of the stroke. And as you can see, when I'm hovering over things like that, it will actually tell you what they are. If I hover over this, it'll show you its zoom and so on and so forth. So this is very helpful. So use that to your advantage. Now, here I am. Now, I want to make some changes here, but I can't do it with this guy. I'm going to have to come up here with this tool, I'm sorry. And I'm going to have to come up here and I'm going to hit this direct selection tool. So I hit with the direct selection tool. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab that one. Now I'm going to double click on that because I want to make sure that I'm only affecting that one. I can move it around anywhere I want now. And I'm going to kind of bring it to the center. Now, more than that, I'm going to try to clean up these little areas in here. I just kind of pull that in real slow so it kind of meets up. But still trying to keep that 90-degree angle. So I have to hold that shift key down. Same thing here. And we're going to see if that's going to help. Now, there are two. There we go. Boom. Nice. So now up in here, now that we've gotten those kind of cleaned up, now up in here, I'm going to kind of grab this guy here. And that's where I'm going to start from, because see that big old bump there? It looks like it got a cyst. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to pull that back. Now, I'm pulling it back a little bit, but as you can see, yep, I think I got it. I got it. That's nice. All right, so that's the outside of a circle. You repeat that for the inside of the circle. And moving along, it's going to be the same for the rest. Now, I'm going to start another video, and it's going to be a really simple one. And that comes up next, and that one will bring up it'll bring up the ruler tool, and we're going to make a ruler. I'm going to keep this simple for you guys, because I realize that the pen tool can't get a bit, it can get a bit more tricky. This will be a little bit more straightforward, so we'll start that with the next video. All right.